I just want to say what a sight we've had today. Tens of thousands of people marching for Scotland. It makes me very proud. And I am very proud to be part of our civic, inclusive, grassroots-led, welcoming and internationally focused independence movement. But contrast the atmosphere today with the atmosphere that's created by the politicians that have sold the rest of the United Kingdom on Brexit. They're driven by nothing other than old-fashioned, unreconstructed, often xenophobic British nationalism. If the Scottish newspapers actually want to see what a separatist looks like, they need look no further than the Tory cabinet, than Nigel Farage, and even Jeremy Corbyn. Now, some people think they've got the guile to suggest that there's a political solution within the UK for Scotland's problems. But Scotland's problem is the fact that we are within the UK. Now, the last general election, the Tories put up the worst candidate for Prime Minister in history. They then ran the worst campaign in history, and Labour still didn't win. Now we've got the worst government in history. They're openly at war over Brexit and confused. They're openly racist over Windrush, and they're openly incompetent over the economy. And Jeremy Corbyn still can't make any inroads into the council elections in England. Imagine what would happen if the Tories actually replaced Theresa May with someone vaguely competent, or even someone vaguely human. So what's Labour's big idea to put a stop to the growing independence movement? They want to try and sell us on a federal system. But federalism isn't something that Scotland can vote for. The whole of the UK would have to agree it. And England does not want federalism. It will not vote for federalism, and therefore it will not happen. They can't even define it. So I challenged a senior figure in the Labour Party recently, and I said, tell me, what does federalism actually mean? And she said, well, it's the devolution of absolutely everything, except defence, except welfare, except international relations, and except fiscal powers. So they want to keep and retain in Westminster the ability to renew Trident, to get involved in illegal wars, to cut people's benefits, and to stop Scotland thriving and being a prosperous independent nation. That's not a system that we want. So folks, those are not the last four powers that we want devolved from Scotland. Those are the first four powers that Scotland needs. They're trying to sell us a vow Mark II, a policy that they cannot deliver, that they can't define, and they can't win a general election with. And you still want us to believe that they're once again the party of Home Rule. I think Keir Hardie must be spinning in his grave. Now, for the last 6 years, full time, I've dedicated my life to delivering independence, and I think that there's a good chance we'll get it in the very near future. But Business for Scotland never stopped campaigning. We never stopped making the business and economic case for independence. But in the next few weeks, we're not waiting for anyone to tell us to do so. We are launching a new independence campaign. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to train 1,000 independence ambassadors. But our ambassador program isn't just for business people now. We want our training program, our materials, our resources, our support and our funding to be available to the whole Yes movement. So this year we're going to train 1,000. We're going to create an army of highly dedicated salespeople for independence who can go to every town and drive support for independence into a winning position. Now, the First Minister is on record as saying that the people of Scotland will choose when the next independence referendum is. And yeah, I think you may have convinced her that it's sooner rather than later today. So Business for Scotland are going to take her at her word. we're going to campaign to move support for independence into the 50s so as we can call it and we can win it and we become an independent nation next year. I hope you will join us, and I want to thank you very much for marching for Scotland today. Thank you.